Auzu billahi minash shaitan rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today, our topic is for the class 12th. Subject is zoology. Our topic is today helper T cells. What are helper T cells? Yesterday, our topic was killer or cytotoxic cells. Today, our topic is helper T cells. You know that in cell-mediated immune system (CMIS), this it is a component of immune system which consists of T lymphocytes. This system provides cellular immunity. It functions against pathogens, and here helper T cells they form about 75% of the total lymphocytes. 75% of the total lymphocytes. Number one, lymphocytes of a colon. And these cells stimulate beta cells. These helper T cells helper T cells stimulate beta cells, B cells, stimulate B cells, such as B lymphocytes, to produce antibodies and also stimulate killer T cells, and these helper T cells also stimulate killer T cells. So we should know it here that these helper T cells stimulate B cells and also T cells, killer T cells, to destroy the non-cell, to destroy the non-cell. Their role is overall regulation of regulation of immunity. Immunity. So we should remember here that they perform this function. How they perform this function? By forming a series of protein mediators. They form a series of protein mediators called which are called lymphokines. Kines. So we remember here that helper T cells they form 75% of the total lymphocytes, number one, of a colon. These helper T cells stimulate B cells, T lymphocytes, they produce antibodies, and also stimulate killer T cells to destroy the non-cell. Their role is overall regulation of immunity. They perform this function by forming a series of protein mediators called lymphokines, which act on other cells, which act on other cells of the immune system of the immune system as well as bone marrow cells as well as bone marrow cells. Here we should know that here that the lymphokines they act on cells other cells of immune system as well as bone marrow cells. And also remember here that some lymphokines attract macrophages. Some lymphokines they attract macrophages to the site of infection to the site of infection. So dear students, you note that here there are some lymphokines attract macrophages to the site of infection, and also the other lymphokines prevent migration of macrophages. Other lymphokines, you note it here that other lymphokines they prevent the migration of macrophages. Prevent migration of lymphokines. Also, we should remember here that other lymphokines they attract macrophages. Number one, other lymphokines they prevent the migration of macrophages. They prevent migration of macrophages away from the site of infection, away from the site of infection. So dear student is that these some lymphokines attract the macrophages to the site of infection. Other lymphokines prevent migration of macrophages away from the site of infection. And still other lymphokines stimulate T cells. Still other lymphokines stimulate T lymphocytes. Stimulate T cells proliferation. The net effect of lymphokine secretion is the net. Here we write here that the net effect of lymphokines secretion is the accumulation of macrophages. Secretion is the accumulation of here we know that the net effect of lymphokinin secretion is the accumulation of macrophages and lymphocytes. Macrophages, accumulation of macrophages and lymphocytes in the region of an infection, and lymphocytes in the region of an infection, in the region of an infection. So here helper T cells do not confine their help to lymphocytes. Here we should know that here helper T cells do not confine helper T cells do not confine they do not confine their help to lymphocytes. Their help to lymphocytes. Lymphocytes. And those helper T cells that secrete interleukin 2, and those helper T cells that secrete their leukin 2 and leukin 2 when stimulated by antigen when stimulated by antigen also So here know that here helper T cells do not confine their help to lymphocytes, and those helper T cells that secrete interleukin interleukin second 2 when stimulated by antigen also. So we should know it here that helper T cells they secrete interleukin 2 when stimulated by antigen also. Secrete other interleukin such as other interleukin such as gamma interferon, that attract microbes So had here that helper T cells they secrete interleukin second when stimulated by antigen, also secrete other interleukin such as gamma interferon that attract microbes and activate them to become more efficient and activate them to become more efficient and at phagocytizing become more efficient efficient at at phagocytizing site for phagocytosis and destroying invading microbe and destroying invading microbes or microorganisms or microorganisms, that is, for example, tuberculosis bacterium which can survive simple phagocytosis. So here we know that helper T cells, they form about 70% of the total lymphocytes of colon. These cells stimulate B cells to produce antibodies and also stimulate killer T cells and destroy non-cellular. Their rules overall regulation of immunity. They perform the function by forming a series of protein mediators called lymphokines, which act on other cells of the immune system as well as bone marrow cells. So lymphokines attract macrophages to the site of infection. Other lymphokines prevent migration of macrophages away from the site of infection. Other lymphokines prevent migration of away from the site of infection. Still, other lymphokines stimulate T cells proliferation. The net dependent lymphokine secretion is the accumulation of macrophages and lymphocytes in the region of infection. Helper T cells do not confine their role to lymphocytes. Those T cells, helper T cells, they secrete interleukin 2 when stimulated by antigen, also secrete other interleukins such as gamma interferon that attract microbes and activate them to become more efficient at phagocytizing and destroying invading microorganisms. Thank you.